How's it going, Laser Bruces? I'm Sixkilla and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. Now, you remember in the last episode we ended with a dead end or two, so it's time for us to pick a new path. And we can't really do any more here without finishing off getting the code. We can do these little bits and pieces, but we'll do those later, I think. For now, I think we need to pick a different path through here, which means we have to not have Vladimir die. Sorry, I don't... We'll just see what happens. So I'll skip ahead, and as many times as it takes, I'll figure it out until I get someone not Vladimir dying. Alright, let's make our selection. So we know kind of who's who now. Vladimir is like number 9. Melody was number 2. Beatrix is number 1, I believe. Let's go Beatrix.
Thank you for your selection, and thank you for choosing Deletion Game as your preferred population restriction method.
You're welcome.
Please exit the room and await this round's result.
Give me the results. Same old things as always.
Let's get straight to the results.
Okay, there you go. Yoshiki died this time. There you go, that changed everything. I mean, I didn't aim for Yoshiki, but whatever.
Yoshiki.
Yoshiki looked at the captain helplessly.
Captain, I don't want to die.
Kimiko's face suddenly became desperate.
Please die, don't do this. Yoshiki is necessary to the mission. He's our only engineer.
Well, apparently the rest of the crew feel a little differently, Capitan.
What if I can trade places with him?
No, Captain, it's fine.
No, it's not.
I'm afraid the results are final.
Thus, she has to keep you alive for some reason.
Please, die, not Yoshiki.
You know the rules, Capitan. Either you cooperate, or I kill everyone.
Yoshiki put his hand on the captain's arm, but she shrugged it off.
Fine. Kill us all.
Tears were streaming down the captain's face. Her current state stood in complete contrast to her usual unflappable demeanor. She can't actually kill us all because... presumably the way she would kill us all is to vent all the oxygen from the system. But she can't kill Kimiko. She has to keep Kimiko alive. So she can't actually do that.
Captain, you know that's not right.
Which means if you call her bluff, she actually can't do shit. The captain wasn't listening.
Well, have at it, Die. Kill us. Show us what you can do.
A malicious smile spread across Dai's features. She was clearly enjoying watching the captain lose her cool.
Captain! Captain! Kimmy!
The captain stopped and looked directly at Yoshiki, anger and fear evident on her face.
Kimmy, it's okay.
No, it's not, Yoshiki. It's not.
You can't sacrifice the crew for me.
But I promised I would protect you.
It's okay. Really.
I failed you.
Kimmy, you haven't failed me.
Enough. It's time to decide how you're going to die.
Dai projected a segmented wheel and gave it a spin. The arrow swept over the various options, finally coming to rest on...
Drowning it is! Congratulations, Yoshiki. Supposedly, this is one of the nicest ways to die. That
Not
being
true.
said, I haven't died, so take anything I say with a huge grain of salt.
It's meant to be extremely painful. Asphyxiation is meant to be extremely painful, and that's what drowning is.
Please die.
The captain was still attempting to bargain with Dai to no avail.
Alright, kiddies, let's all head to the gym for Yoshiki's final hurrah.
Dai marched down the hallway towards the gym and we all followed. Yoshiki walked beside the captain, who was having trouble regaining her composure.
Kimmy, please. It's okay. You'll fix this. I know you will.
I'm so sorry, Yoshiki. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just fix this. Okay? Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe I have a date with a pool. Now's my chance to show off my beach body.
The captain let out a small giggle in spite of herself.
This is hardly the time for jokes, Yoshiki.
That's where you're wrong. Times like these are the reason we tell jokes in the first place, to help us through tough times. Okay. I need you to do something for me now, okay?
Anything, Yoshiki.
I need you to be the captain now. Okay? I need the older sister I grew up with. I need you to be strong for me here.
The captain wiped the tears from her cheeks and straightened up.
Thank you.
Yoshiki offered the captain a warm smile, who was now attempting to hide her grief. Oh, I don't think we've been here before. We finally arrived at the gym. Di had rematerialized next to the pool, forcing us to come closer to her. She seemed particularly pleased with herself as she watched us file in.
Last call for Yoshiki. Please enter the pool.
Yoshiki made his way over to the pool and jumped in next to where Di was standing.
Ugh, watch it. You'll ruin my hair.
Hologram.
Take care of Kimiko for me, okay?
Of course.
She likes it best when you annoy her.
I'm good at that.
No, I don't.
Alrighty, watch your head, Yoshiki.
Pool glass cover now in operation. Please stand clear. A pane of glass emerged from the edge of the pool and covered the entire pool's surface. Filling pool, please stand clear. Suddenly, additional water began pumping into the pool, raising the water level. Slowly but surely, Yoshiki was buoyed up toward the pane of glass by rising water. As a last-ditch effort, he tried floating on his back in order to breathe what little oxygen there was left. Eventually, however, he was completely submerged under the water beneath the sheet of glass. Panic began to set in and he started banging on the glass. The entire room was silent but for his bangs. It wasn't long before the room fell silent.
It's done, Di. Now let me retrieve him.
I don't think so, Captain. He'll remain where he is for the next hour, just to be sure. After that, you'll be free to do as you wish. You humans are far too resistant to drowning, in my opinion. That's a wrap for this week, guys. Great work today. You all fought hard. I'm so proud. The next round will start shortly, so go and get some much-needed rest. Dismissed.
Thanks. As soon as Di released everyone from the gym, the room emptied very quickly. No one wanted to stay there any longer than they had to. Only the captain and I remained behind, standing beside the pool. Captain, I'm sorry.
Me too.
Is there anything I can do?
Leave me, please.
I wanted to say more, but I could see the captain needed some space. Just as I was about to exit the gym, I heard her speak.
I'm sorry, Yoshiki. I'm so sorry.
She'd crawled onto the glass of the pool and was currently lying above where Yoshiki's body floated lifeless.
You always were much more tolerable when you were sleeping.
Hush. She visibly winced at her own morbid joke.
I guess I need to work on my material for your sake, Yoshiki.
She giggled to herself awkwardly in between bouts of tears. I finally left the gym and headed back to my quarters. Even after I've crawled into bed and closed my eyes, I swore that I could still hear the captain's anguished cries. Chapter 2. We're so far back, we haven't been this far back in ages, because we've been hanging around the ending areas. I slowly opened my eyes as the sound of crying filled my ears. I slowly sat up, looking around my room for where the sound was coming from, but my room was empty and I was alone. I closed my eyes and continued to hear the cries. When I realized the sound was the captain sobbing last night, I replaying in my head. Kimiko. I lay looking at the ceiling for a few minutes before checking the time. 6 AM, huh? I didn't want to think about anything. The whole situation was just too much to deal with at the moment. I wanted to stay in bed, snuggle deeper into the sheets until nothing could hurt me anymore. But all I could hear were the captain's cries. Let's go see her. Unable to get the captain's cries out of my head, I thought it'd be best if I went and checked up on her. I wasn't sure just yet on the relationships between all the crew, but the captain appeared to usually keep her distance from everyone. It must have been very lonely. I hopped out of bed and headed towards the captain's quarters. I arrived at the door to her quarters to find Vladimir standing outside. Vladimir?
Oh, good morning. Well, as good as morning can be, I guess.
Vladimir forced a smile that looked both embarrassed and confused. Let's just agree that it is indeed a morning. I smiled at Vladimir and tried to ease the tension. Vladimir let out a quiet chuckle.
That I will surely agree to. So, what are you doing here?
I was actually coming to check on the captain. You?
I am here because of Melody.
Melody?
After last night, Melody was upset because the captain was so upset. So she sat up last night and made her a card to try and cheer her up.
Oh, that's cute. That's so sweet. Vladimir smiled, but his eyes glassed over as he did.
She said she knew how much it makes you sad when someone in your family goes away, and wanted to tell the captain that everything will be okay.
Melody's mature for her age.
It's unfortunate that she's being forced to deal with these issues and lose her childhood.
It really is. I'm sorry. Vladimir let out a sigh as the captain's quarters opened and Melody appeared.
How'd it go, sweetie? What happened?
I went in, tried to get the captain the card, but she wouldn't come out from underneath her blankets. But I could see her. I could see the lumps underneath the blankets. So I climbed onto her bed and I hugged the lumps. And I told her everything was gonna be okay.
Hug the lumps.
And what happened?
The blanket started crying.
Did she come out?
No, she didn't. I just hugged the lump for a while and it cried. And then I put her card on the bedside table and left.
Good work, sweetie.
Do you think it made her feel better?
I'm sure that it will when she looks at it.
Okay, well, let's leave the captain to rest. How about we go and help Katashi with breakfast? Melody's face lit up as if Christmas had come early.
Really?
Yep.
Do you think he'll let me stir something?
Vladimir nervously laughed as if aware of his daughter's cooking abilities.
I'm sure you can ask him nicely.
Melody had already started skipping off down the hallway and towards the kitchen before Vladimir had finished his sentence. Vladimir turned to me and put his hand on my shoulder, just as he was turning away to follow his daughter.
The captain is a proud woman who struggles to ask for help. She has been ever since she was a child. Please, do your best to be a person she can turn to.
Vladimir cut me off before I could respond.
She has no one really that she can turn to on this ship. She has always tried to maintain distance, and the only one who ever got through that wall was Yoshiki. She needs someone, and you're the only one that can.
I looked into Vladimir's stern but pleading eyes. I understand, and I'll do my best.
There's a good lad.
Vladimir firmly patted my shoulder before disappearing down the hallway. I now stood alone in front of the captain's quarters and took a deep breath. Okay, let's do this. As I went to press the door intercom to ask for entry, the door itself opened. The captain must have set it open. I stepped inside slowly. As I entered, I could see exactly what Melody described, a lump underneath the blankets on the captain's bed and a handmade card on the bedside table. The lump moved slightly as I made my way into the room. Through the blankets, a muffled and broken voice emerged.
Who's there and what do you want?
I stopped at my tracks and I swallowed as I replied. Captain, it's me, Jordan.
What do you want?
I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm worried about you. The lump under the blankets cleared her throat before speaking with the usual stern tone.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I know that you aren't okay, and that you're saying you're fine is you deflecting.
Of course I'm okay. Why would I not be?
Because of yesterday.
That was upsetting, but it's over.
At least come out and lie to my face.
Go away. I'm fine.
If you can come out from under there and look me in the eyes and say you're alright, then I'll go away. The lumps under the blanket shifted and moved until something resembling a person came out. Purple hair emerged from the top of the blankets, followed by shoulders. It looked like the captain was facing me, but it was hard to be sure, as she was mostly hair. She brushed some of it back. Her eyeballs were pink and her entire face had flushed a tinge to it. The area around her eyes was so puffy it looked painful. And she did her best to look at my face.
I am...
She burst into tears again, unable to keep up even the most feeble pretense.
I failed him. I am so sorry. I tried. I did. I tried.
Of course you tried.
No, you don't understand. I told him it would be okay. That he'd be okay. He believed me. He trusted me.
Sometimes things are just out of your control. That's not your fault.
Then whose fault is it? I'm the captain, aren't I?
Yes, but...
Then I am at fault. Yosh.
She couldn't finish saying his name. She broke down into tears again, her whole body shuddering with every loud sob. I very much doubted that hugging would help, but I couldn't think of what else to do. I sat down on the bed beside her and put my arm around her. She was stiff and tense, but didn't pull away or ask me not to touch her. The captain was sitting with her feet curled to her side, and she kept leaning forward like she was trying to fold herself in half. Then she'd rock back again.
I tried.
She started to soften into my touch, and she no longer sat rigid, but leaned into me as I began gently rocking with her. I know that.
Do you think he knows that?
Of course he does. I know he does. This brought on a fresh torrent of sobbing. Kimiko was almost pushing me over, falling into my support, so I pulled my arm tighter and shifted a little to make myself a more stable anchor.
Thank you.
She was pushing her hair out of her face again, forcing it behind her ears. She was normally so neat and orderly, with their hair carefully groomed. I hadn't realized there was so much of it. It's okay. Being captain doesn't mean you're not allowed to have feelings.
They're my crew, and I know I'm not supposed to. I have to look out for everyone, but he was like my little brother. He was my little brother.
I understand. You're meant to be impartial, but I don't think loving someone makes you a bad person. Or a bad captain.
Thank you for saying that.
You know Melody left you something. Should we look at it? The captain nodded slowly as she did her best to regain composure. I reached over and picked up the card Melody had left. There was a big orange smiley face on the front, and some blue love hearts and a line along the bottom and top.
She's such a nice kid.
She's very empathetic. Though I'm not sure that's a good thing in our current circumstances.
Poor kid.
Kimiko opened the card to read what Melody had written inside.
Dear Captain, I'm very sorry that Yoshiki has gone like my mummy. I hope you feel better. I drew the ego lanch for you.
I thought perhaps she'd cry again, but maybe the captain was out of tears. Instead, she sat up straighter, almost proudly.
Great spelling. She really is such a wonderful child.
We both looked at the drawing. The trees and vegetable garden were neatly drawn, and it was easy to see what they were supposed to represent. Melody had obviously put some care into her picture. She's a better artist than I am. Kimiko smiled.
And me.
Yahoo! Everyone's favorite AI system is here. My, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? It would be such a shame if someone were to mention the Deletion Game. Ahem.
Could I please have all crew report to the dining hall for briefing immediately? That is all.
Sure. Dai's manic voice hollered through the speaker system at brain-melting volume.
All right. Apparently I have to get dressed. I'm going to have to order you out of here.
You can just say it nicely. I left the room figuring that since I was already dressed, I better make my way to the dining hall as quickly as possible. It would be best not to risk aggravating Dai. I was the first to arrive. The twins came in right after me.
It's not enough we have to play her stupid games. She's got to wake us up early, too. Bloody sadist.
Nicholas let out a cheeky grin.
Beatrix is not a morning person.
Oh, I've noticed. Kinda want to go back to sleep. Just pretend I'm dreaming.
Yes, I know what you mean.
When Vladimir and Melody arrived, only the captain was left, and Dai.
Did you have any luck?
I didn't have time to answer before Dai appeared.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to see you all here promptly and ready to play. Wait, where's Captain Crybaby?
Fortunately, there was a few seconds before the captain did arrive, and she probably missed Dai's cruel jibe.
Nice of you to join us. Late. What happened? You have to get the red eye flight? Get it? Red eye? Crying? Red eye? Why do I even bother bringing my A material for you people? Such a waste.
That's your A material? Man, I'd hate to see your B material.
Well, I guess that's not completely fair. I mean, Yoshiki always laughed at my jokes. Where is Yoshiki? Oh, right.
Dai shot a side smile at the captain, who was struggling to hold it together before continuing. The tension in the room was incredibly thick.
All right, I can't hold in the excitement any longer. Welcome to round 4 of the Deletion Game, Bidding Wars. I have noticed a certain lack of, what's the word?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. So I have specifically designed this game to help
I know,
its
we've
crew,
seen this.
But more importantly,
The A team will be made up of Jordan, Shizuka, Vladimir, and Kimiko, and Team B will be Katashi, Nicholas, Melody, and Beatrix. So we're on a totally different team this time. We're on the good team. We're with Shizuka, Vladimir, and Kimiko. That's a good team.
What?
Where's Melody? Dai potentially ignored the objection. And remember, no one from the enemy. No talking with the enemy from now on or else. Team B, would you please kindly exit the dining room and make your way to the rec room? I'll be there shortly to allocate your team captain. But A does come first in the alphabet, so Team A goes first. Nicholas and Beatrix got up and left, but Katashi was having a little pink-haired problem on his hands.
I want to stay with Papa.
Oh, Melody's with them?
Dai
That's
says
annoying.
we have to go outside.
Papa.
Please, Melody. Come outside with me and I'll explain this game to you.
no talking to the other team now.
Vladimir was sitting, stony-faced, his eyes closed. I could see the way his eyes screwed up, concentrating on not speaking to his daughter, wincing every time she said his name.
Nicholas is on our team. You like Nicholas, don't you?
Melody quickly forgot the situation.
One time, he let me put his Band-Aid on.
Katashi's face looked a bit surprised, but he worked with it.
Well, let's go out and talk to him. Maybe he has more band-aids.
I mean, he should fucking hopefully have more band-aids. He's a doctor.
But Papa needs me!
Why don't we get him a band-aid too for later? You won't mind if we go out just for a while, okay?
Melody looked back at her father, very unsure about this, but Vladimir wasn't looking at her. Maybe that helped her believe Katashi?
Okay.
Good girl. Come on.
Melody held on to Katashi's hand and he led her out.
Gak, I thought they never leave.
I can't go a week without talking to my daughter. She just lost her mother.
Dai shrugged.
Hey, rules are rules.
You make the rules, and this isn't fair.
Hey, I designed the game to be challenging. Not talking to the kid is a compulsory side quest.
This is a new low, Dai.
Oh, sister, you have no idea how I can get.
Get low. Dai winked at the captain who visibly rolled her eyes at Dai.
Now it's time to allocate the team, order, and choose a captain.
Do I have to be captain again?
I can be captain.
I said it would be random. Pay attention, Bossy Bessie. I've preloaded 4 cards on your tablets. You can choose one whenever you're ready. The person who chooses the card with the bunny on it will be the team captain.
I know I'm going to be captain again. How do we know it's random? You can make the cards whatever you want. I've already preloaded my cards on all your tablets. Once the card has been selected by someone, it cannot be selected by others. Once all the cards have been assigned, they will reveal their face.
But who picks first?
What do I care? Just pick.
Shizuka carefully studied the 4 cards simulated on her tablet screen.
They're numbered 1 to 4 here, and the bunny is under one of them randomly.
Dai rolled her eyes.
It's not calculus. Just pick one.
I take 3.
Next.
I'll go last.
I'll take 2. Vladimir?
Vladimir had been sitting back, glaring at Dai, but not shouting anymore. I guess he knew Dai wouldn't change anything. She was just being cruel on purpose.
1.
Which leaves with card number 4. This game is such a thrill already.
Oh yes, I'm thrilled.
Lucky number 4. Congrats, Captain.
As usual.
Now it's Team B's turn. Any last questions?
Do the point values have to go in a particular order? Like Shizuka always has the most and I always have the least?
Oh no, that would be boring. You can allocate them any way you want, as long as there are at least 2 people with points.
So that means the team captain can screw me over and leave me with no points.
I wouldn't do that to you, Shizuka. I like you.
That's not my problem.
Don't worry, I won't do that.
Agreed. It's in everyone's best interest to play fairly.
Shizuka still had something of a pout, but she nodded like she believed us.
Well, this has been an absolute thrill ride. But Team B awaits. Remember, no talking to the other team. Under any circumstances. No excuses, no exchanges, no refunds. No correspondence will be entered to. Toodles!
Dai disappeared and Vladimir immediately got to his feet.
This is outrageous. She can't do this.
She's murdering the crew one by one.
Where will Melody sleep? Who will feed her? What if she has nightmares?
You can trust Katashi. And Nicholas, for that matter.
Just not Beatrix.
She can't negotiate. They could just give her no points.
They wouldn't do that.
Katashi wouldn't let that happen. And the twins aren't monsters.
Vladimir did not seem convinced. He kicked the wall.
We need to talk strategy. Here's what I'm thinking. If we use high numbers each round, say 7s, 8s, and 9s, that will probably put us ahead of them as a team. However, there's 4 of us and only 3 rounds, so if that plan does fail, one of us won't have had that high number, and that would make them the one to die guaranteed.
Fine. I'll do that.
Captain, you can't just...
This is deliberately cruel.
They're going to be trying to predict our behavior, and Katashi knows I'll be strategizing. In which case, maybe we should not go with my first instinct. But their first move might be to counteract what they think ours will be. So we could focus on beating that.
Kimiko was just staring at the table. She didn't seem to be taking in what Shizuka was saying. Neither was Vladimir.
What if she hurts herself? Or gets sick?
There are 2 medics on her team. They'll take care of her.
She needs her father.
I agree.
So, if they predict we'll be playing one high number, they'll counter with one high number.
The room was a mess. We may have all been on the same team, but I don't think anyone was on the same page right now. Hang on, calm down, go slower. Captain, what do you think?
In which case, We can play mid-range numbers and beat the low numbers or zeros they give for the other 3 players.
Huh?
She can't just take a child away and expect.
All 3 battles will be played one after the other, and there will be very little time in between to strategize.
We're having 3 different conversations at the same time.
It's sadistic.
Captain, are you okay?
But if we go in with the first round plan, we can also have some options for the second based on likely contingencies.
I need a nap. This is too much.
Sorry, what?
She's 6.
The third battle might be harder.
Our team is divided. I need to get this under control. Wait! Stop! Everyone just stop talking for a minute, please.
But...
Hold on. Okay, here's what I think we should do. Captain, I think you should go to bed and get some more sleep. She was clearly still struggling from the previous day's game, and I don't blame her.
Yes, I don't feel great.
Shizuka, we have a week. I think you should put together 3 strategies and then present them to everyone later in the week. We can vote on them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I need time to figure everything out.
Vladimir, you and I should go to your quarters. We'll gather together some things that Melody might want and put them somewhere in plain sight with the door unlocked.
Thank you. That would help a lot.
You should mention it to I too. I don't think Dai would like us passing messages, but if you just tell I as a point of interest, it's not your fault what she does with that information.
That's a good point. Good thinking.
Thank you. I'm going to lie down for a while.
I'll get to work right away.
Kimiko and Shizuka both left her for their own quarters, and I accompanied Vladimir to his. Tuesday morning, I was worried about breakfast. What would happen if people from each team met in the dining hall? We have to be very careful not to speak or even communicate with one another. Dai hadn't specified exactly what was counted as communication, but it was probably best to assume she'd be really strict about it. But what would my team eat? Katashi couldn't speak to us, even about meals. I went along to the dining hall anyway, to see who was there. I found Kimiko and Vladimir sitting at the table talking to Ai. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello. Sit down. Shizuka's making us breakfast.
So, how long do we have until we get close?
We are close now, Captain. Please specify.
Close enough that it's dangerous.
It will most likely be Sunday.
Are they talking about the black hole?
Yes. You look well. Did you sleep better?
I did. You seem alright too. Do you know how Melody is? Did they find the things we left?
They disappeared last night. Ai says that Melody slept in Katashi's quarters and had fun.
Well, that's good news, I suppose.
So you're saying we're likely to hit the most dangerous point right when Dai will drag us back into playing this new game?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm not even surprised. Thank you, Ai.
Shizuka arrived. She was carrying a cake.
Sorry, I'm not good at food, and I didn't know what else to do.
She put the cake down and I saw it had been sliced into 4 large pieces. Shizuka served us 1 piece each and then reached into her pockets. She had 4 apples and passed them around.
Apples! Because, they're good for you.
To counteract the
And
cake.
come with the added benefit of being ready to serve off the tree.
Gotta counteract that cake with something.
Melody had better be eating better than this.
She's on the team with the cook. The captain picked up her fork, looked at her giant slice of cake. The slices were so large it was difficult to decide where to begin with them. She put her fork back down and picked up the apple.
Thank you for volunteering to arrange breakfast, Shizuka.
Shizuka sat
I
down.
did the best I could. Sorry it's not up to Katashi's standards.
Cake wasn't a breakfast food I was familiar with, but it sure was a delicious one. I didn't cook, so I got no complaints. Thanks, Shizuka. Shizuka beamed with pride and started digging into her cake. After breakfast and a shower, I went back to my quarters. Getting properly dressed meant picking up the pocket watch again and looking at it. It was so old, or at the very least old-fashioned. It didn't move and it didn't seem to work, but I like to keep it with me anyway. I needed to work out what it was for. If it could really allow interdimensional travel, the possibilities were endless. I decided to show it to one of my team. The captain might know what my parents were researching. Her mother was the previous captain after all. But Vladimir actually knew my parents, and he was a scientist. Then again, he was also very distracted. Shizuka was good at games and puzzles, and the watch was kind of a puzzle. Maybe she'd be able to figure out how it worked. Oh my god, we can do everybody. Let's go hang with Shizuka. We haven't spent that much time with her yet. I looked at my tablet to see where Shizuka was. It showed her in the kitchen. I hope she had more success impressing the team with her cooking. After all, she'd volunteered her time and effort, and that deserves some credit. True. Arriving at the kitchen, I discovered a disaster in progress. Shizuka's face was covered in flour, along with most of the kitchen. Her hands were stained 2 different shades of brown, and all sticky from whatever she'd spilled on them. There were glistening, sticky patches on the surfaces and floor, too. Hi, Shizuka, what are you making?
I'm not sure yet.
Is it a mess? Are you making a mess?
In games, I usually just mix ingredients until it works. Then you learn the recipe and it's just automatic after.
I guess it's not like that in real life.
I've watched Katashi like a million times before. I can do this.
Concerned that we might end up with raw flour and sticky sauce for dinner, I offered my help. Do you need any help?
No. You'll just mess up my system.
Oh yeah, your system, yeah. There's a system? Shizuka stopped stirring the mixture to look at me.
Of course there's a system.
Okay, listen, can you wash your hands? There's something I want you to look at. I wanted to show you the pocket watch, but not with their hands like they were. Shizuka washed her hands in the sink and then held out a clean hand, palm up.
Oh, clean. Gimme.
I got the watch out and gave it to her. I found this with my parents' research. It definitely had something to do with their work, but I'm not sure how.
So it's got something to do with physics? Doesn't look like it.
If this was a video game, would this item be important? That's what we need, right? If this is a video game, would this item be important? Shizuka examined the watch very closely. She looked at the face and tapped it a few times, frowning.
If this was a video game, I think this would definitely be an important item. Maybe even a main quest item.
Yeah, I agree. Like the locket from Chrono Trigger.
You received it early in the game, and you might not know what it is or how it works until you get more information.
Yeah, like the locket from Chrono Trigger. Well, that's not overly helpful.
No, but it means this watch is important. You just need to keep playing to find out why. You need to finish all the prior quests.
What quests? Shizuka blushed and turned away from me.
I don't know. This isn't my game. It's yours.
Shizuka handed back the watch.
Sorry, I can't help more.
God damn it, Shizuka. Oh, you're cooking dinner. Dinner, that's helping.
I'm glad you think so. I doubt Vladimir does.
He's under a lot of stress right now.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's extra low for Dai to do this. Not that she's a delight normally, but this just feels extra cruel.
Yeah, I hope Melody will be alright.
Katashi will take good care of her. And I think Nicholas has a secret soft spot for her.
Yeah, I agree. At least we know that she'll have a doctor if she gets sick.
But she's missing out on my experimental food creations.
Even better that she's over there then. Katashi wouldn't give her breakfast cake.
Exactly! I'm clearly where the fun is.
Breakfast cake. Shizuka had cooking to get on with, and since she didn't have any insight about the watch, I felt somewhat disheartened. I decided to get back to my quarters. It was about time I called I so we could talk about Dai and her programming. I sat on the bed with the papers and tablets sprawled over the bed. Bzz, bzz, nothing. Bzz, bzz, nothing. Bzz, bzz. It's so frustrating. Okay, I need to calm down. Getting angry isn't going to solve anything. I threw myself back on the bed and stared at the ceiling for a long time, before I was suddenly bathed in the warm glow of I's holographic interface.
I am sorry to interrupt.
Don't worry about it, I. You weren't interrupting anything. What's up?
I found some more information that may be useful against Dai.
I feel like we've had this conversation before. That's wonderful. What is it?
I've discovered that it's possible to input the deactivation code into any terminal, including your personal tablets.
Do you know anything else about the deactivation code? I shook her head.
Unfortunately, I didn't learn anything else. I tried to access more information, but even with my administrator privileges, I was unable to proceed any further.
Well, at least we know we can input the code once we know what it is.
I am glad you are pleased.
It isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction.
I must return to my duties.
Of course, thanks for the update, I bowed and phased out of my quarters. Deactivation code from any tablet or terminal, huh? At least I knew that I wouldn't need a higher clearance level. I'm probably going to have to dig up some information on Ayumi if I want to work out this code. There's no help for it now, though. The captain's on the other team, off limits for the duration of this round. The captain's on our team. I returned my attention to the watch. Come on, Jordan, put yourself together. You need to work this out. The captain is on our team. I sifted through my parents' papers and tablets to see if I missed anything. Alright, we need to wrap this one up here. Obviously there's some wonkiness going on still, as you can tell. But yeah, because the captain is on our team. So we could actually ask her about her mother and about anything else like that, but whatever. We'll see what happens anyway next time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.